She thought she was exposing a rookie, but ended up exposing herself. Mary Kay just took one too many shots at Shedeur Sanders, and now the fans, they're done. This isn't just football anymore. This is personal. She thought she was throwing shade. Turns out she lit a wildfire. Mary Kay Cabot took one too many shots at Shedeur Sanders.
He really does check all of those boxes. And I think that those are some of the reasons why the Browns are really excited about him and why they do really like him.
In terms of leadership, in terms of the
And now fans aren't just clapping back. They're demanding change. This isn't about stats anymore. It's not even just about football. This is personal, and this is war. Let's rewind to the moment everything shifted. At Browns training camp, the quarterback battle was heating up. All eyes were on Shedeur Sanders, the talented, laser-accurate rookie from Colorado. But instead of breaking down his strengths or praising his growth, Mary Kay Cabot, one of the Browns' most tenured beat writers, decided to take a different route.
In the film room as well, so there's a combination of ways to make it happen, but of course the physical is a little different.
She started comparing Shedeur to Dillon Gabriel. Now, we get it. Gabriel's a solid QB prospect, but the way Mary Kay framed it, it was less about Gabriel being good and more about Shedeur being not good enough. She said Gabriel looked smooth, polished, confident, and Shedeur, well, we still need to see if he can handle that. It sounded subtle, but fans heard it loud and clear. That wasn't evaluation, that was coded criticism. And in Cleveland, a city that's been through decades of QB heartbreak, the fan base had finally found someone to believe in.
So Dillon Gabriel, the other rookie quarterback, third-round pick, was asked about playing on time, and it's...
So when Mary Kay started lobbing those veiled shots at Shedeur, the people snapped. Twitter lit up, podcasts dragged her, former players called her out, and suddenly, Mary Kay wasn't the one asking questions, she was the one being questioned. Here's the truth that makes folks uncomfortable.
I don't think that's not my place, to answer, to even be able to give the answer to that.
Mary Kay's critique of Shedeur isn't new. It's part of a pattern we've seen in media coverage of black quarterbacks for decades. They're too flashy, too raw, too emotional, too confident, too focused on brand. But here's the flip side. White QBs with similar confidence, they're called leaders. They're praised for swagger. They're marketable. It's not always about race, but you can't ignore the cultural coding at play. Shedeur is young, bold, polished, unapologetic. And yes, he grew up with money. But somehow, instead of getting credit for turning privilege into purpose, he gets labeled as entitled. Let's not forget, this is the same media machine that put Johnny Manziel on a pedestal. Because he scribbled a dollar sign in the air, Shedeur builds scholarships, mentors kids, hands out school supplies. But what does he get? He still has a lot to prove. To who? To what? At some point, we have to call it what it is, gatekeeping. This isn't just about Mary Kay. It's about the entire Browns organization and how they keep fumbling the most important position in sports. Let's run the receipts. Cleveland has burned through 35 starting quarterbacks since 1999. 35. And what do they have to show for it? One playoff win and a graveyard of failed experiments. Now, finally, they've drafted a quarterback who checks every box. Pocket poise, check. Footwork, clean. Arm strength, dangerous. Leadership, off the charts. Marketability, through the roof. And instead of leaning in, they hesitate. Instead of building around him, they sideline him. And when fans ask why, they get the same tired excuse. He needs time. Let me ask you this. Time for what? To watch Kenny Pickett underthrow a screen pass again? To wait for Dillon Gabriel to catch up? No, let's be real. Time isn't what Shedeur needs. Time is what the organization needs to figure out how to get out of its own way. Mary Kay Cabot has covered the Browns for over 20 years, and that's the problem, because with time comes influence, and with influence comes power. When she speaks, people listen. When she critiques a player, it becomes gospel. And when she picks favorites, when it shapes the narrative, So when she praises Gabriel and throws subtle digs at Shedeur, even unintentionally, she's not just stating an opinion, she's shaping a perception. And the worst part, she rarely owns it. She hides behind phrases like just being honest or I've been covering this team forever. Yeah, and maybe that's the issue. Because at some point, experience turns into entitlement, and critique turns into resistance. Resistance to change, resistance to youth, resistance to a quarterback who doesn't need her approval. Mary Kay isn't evaluating Shedeur anymore. She's protecting a system that's leaving him out, and fans aren't blind to it anymore. Let's focus on the main character here, Shedeur Sanders. Not just Coach Prime's son, but a talent in his own right. This kid ran a high-octane offense at Colorado, read defenses like novels, delivered dimes under pressure, got back up after sacks that would have folded most pros, and the most important part, he did it all with class. He showed up, he didn't complain, he let his play do the talking, even when the NFL tried to overlook him, even when draft experts nitpicked his style. He stayed focused, he stayed poised, he's earned his shot, not because of hype, but because of tape. And the locker room knows it, the fans feel it, even analysts like Emmanuel Acho are saying it. This isn't just a QB battle. It's a media-driven war, a battle between truth and narrative, between substance and spin, between talent and tradition. Here's where things get wild. The Browns fan base has hit a tipping point. They're organizing hashtags, launching petitions, flooding Reddit and X with memes, clips, stats, receipts. It's no longer we want Shedeur, it's start Shedeur or lose the fan base. And Mary Kay? She's not helping. She's become the lightning rod for everything fans hate. Biased reporting, coded language, undermining talent, protecting the old guard, and worst of all, making it about herself. She's gone from beat reporter to antagonist. And when Shedeur does get his shot, and he will, there won't be a single apology waiting for him. But that's fine, he doesn't need it. Because while Mary Kay's words fade, his game won't. This is bigger than one training camp. It's bigger than one team. It's about how narratives are created, how power is protected, and how gifted, driven, black quarterbacks still have to fight for respect in a league they already dominate. Shedeur Sanders is more than ready. He's more than capable, and he's more than what the media has tried to box him into. So to Mary Kay and everyone else writing excuses instead of highlights, you've had your moment. Now it's his turn. And when that moment comes, don't rewrite the story. Just own the fact that you couldn't see what was right in front of you. The future, the franchise, the fire, Shedeur Sanders. If you want the truth, the kind they hide behind the cameras, then hit subscribe and follow for the stories others are too afraid to tell. This isn't just sports, this is real.